Today, we're going to talk about my number one tip for anybody who's in the first year of training, or if you're somebody who just needs to make this adjustment to become a higher, more competent striker. This is the one thing that you have to start implementing. So I'll roll the intro and we'll get to my tip right after. All right, first let me get my gloves. Second, if anybody's looking at my shirt going, what the heck is he wearing? What's happening with that fancy shirt? You know, my wife is very into a lot of health aspects that I'm not into. I'm more into sort of focusing on the fitness and the diet. She's into that as well, but then she has a whole other area which she sort of specializes in, things she's researching. So this is basically a health jacket, and I'm sure in a future episode she will talk to you about it, but I don't want to bring it up. I don't want to talk about it because I don't really know all the details. She just told me to wear it, so I'm wearing it. But aside from that, I want to talk to you guys about the tip that I would give you if you are in the gym on the first day or after a month. What should you really be focusing on to become a better striker? Now, everybody's going to teach you how to throw your punch straight out and bring it back. Not everybody's going to talk about the importance of keeping the hands super tight to your head. And I just want to talk to you guys first about my experience as a competitor. And then we'll talk about how I go about drilling hands right back to the head. So one of the things that you guys will hopefully recognize if you've seen me compete is I get knocked down very, very little. I take very little head trauma in the fights. Aside from getting, cuts and stuff like that, I don't take a whole lot of my head getting smashed. And the big reason is I have drilled and drilled and drilled. Hands stay right here. When I throw, hands come back to my head. All the time back to the head. And because I spent so many years going, if I jab, this hand stays high. As soon as I pull back, it's just as high. Because I do that over and over and over, and I will give you guys a demo of shadow boxing in one moment, but because I've done that, I've been able to become a higher level striker because it's hard for people to get through and score shots on me, just because I'm so diligent on keeping the hands high. And that is my tip for everybody out there. Drill high hands over and over and over. And you don't even have to do it every time. It's not like every time when you're in a fight, your hand has to be here. Like sometimes you'll go, okay, the guy's not going to throw back, and I can just let my hand stay a little bit lower. But you don't want to have mistakes happening where you think your hand's high, but it's really not, in a moment where you actually need it up to protect yourself. So what I do when I shadow box for years is make sure my hands come right back above my eyebrow. I go right to the forehead, not down the middle, not off to the side on the temples, right above the eyebrow. And when I throw every time, my hand always comes back to that forehead, right above the eyebrow. It just sits there. And if at any point when I'm throwing, I don't feel it here, then I know I made a mistake. And if I was talking to somebody who was just coming in, they're going, what can I really do to get comfortable with striking? I would say you could be the best striker offensively in the world. You can also be a great counter fighter, a great guy who parrying in defense, but you don't see every shot. And just having your hands here, probably 60-70% of the time, will block the shots for you. You don't have to react if your hand's already there. So just making sure as you throw, your hand's always pulling back to the head. Just doing this over and over and over will make you a better fighter, and is my number one tip, which will help anybody who's trying to increase their striking level. And that's it for me today, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. If you haven't already, join the channel, get subscribed, train hard, and I'll see you back here soon for another video.